Welcome back to Hooked on Learning section of School Confidence, and this is lesson 3 and it deals with emotional intelligence. So what is emotional intelligence? Emotional intelligence is the ability to identify, understand and control your thoughts and feelings. It is also about being able to communicate your thoughts and feelings appropriately to others. So what does this mean? Well, if you're getting a lecture from your dad or from even a teacher, it's about how you perceive, think about, and respond to that lecture. So you've got two choices. You can either say, I hate you, run out the room and slam the door. Or you can say, I understand where you're coming from. I'm also really disappointed with the test result that I got, but this is what I want to do for the next test to try and make sure that I get a better mark. So it's how you respond to somebody else as well. Emotional intelligence is very important for school confidence. The more emotionally intelligent you are, the better response you're going to be getting from people around you, and also the more you are going to be able to describe your educational needs to not only your parents but your teachers as well. Now, getting to know yourself with regards to emotional intelligence is about accepting yourself for who you are, getting to know what your good points are and what your bad points are, getting to know that you're not perfect and you know what, that's okay. So it's about knowing, am I great with pets? Am I a really good person with animals? Am I a good friend? Am I maybe shocking at maths, but my biology is really spot on? So, and by getting to know yourself and starting to learn that there are different sides about you, then it starts helping you to do what your next exercise is all about, and that is self-acceptance. So the more you know yourself, the more you understand that yes, you've got flaws, but with your flaws come great other points, the more you learn to accept who you are. You have got points about you that you're never going to be able to change. Maybe you've got curly hair. Sure, you can straighten it with a straightener, but your hair naturally is always going to be curly. Maybe you hate your feet, but those are your feet. There's certain things about you that you need to accept. And that comes as well with personality. Maybe you're moody. Maybe you're a happy person. It's about accepting that, yes, I'm a moody person, but I'm still good. There's nothing wrong with me because of it. Self-acceptance is about accepting that you have good points and that you have bad points. And it is okay. Everybody has them. The next thing that I want to take a look at is something called self-worth versus self-esteem. Now, your self-worth is something that you are born with. It is your true value of yourself, of who you actually are. Your self-worth would always believe that you are worthy of love. Self-worth is all about the good things about you. So what is self-esteem? Now, self-esteem is something that develops over time. It is how you see yourself, and it is often dependent on how others see you. So quite often your self-worth gets dampened by your self-esteem because you believe you're worthy of love or that you're worthy of praise until that first teacher says, you know what you did here wasn't quite right. I don't like this. You need to do better. Your self-esteem is built up over how other people see you. And here we're going to take a look at both positive and negative emotions. And it is very important for you to realize that it is okay to have negative emotions. There is nothing wrong with negative emotions. It's how you deal with that emotion as to whether it makes it a positive or negative experience. Anger is not a negative thing. It is actually good to get angry, but it is how you deal with your anger that can make that experience either a negative experience or a positive experience. By exploring our emotions, we are also able to determine what our self-worth is. The way you communicate your needs to someone is very dependent on whether you are going to get help from that person or not get help from that person. So for example, you don't understand something in maths. If you go to your teacher and go, hey, I've got not a clue what you're talking about over here, I need your help, the more likely your action you're going to be getting from your teacher is, really? Well, not on my time, because they're going to be offended by the way that you ask them. If you go to your teacher and you say, oh, Mr. Smith, I really do not understand this section on exponential equations. Please could you help me? Maybe after school or whenever you have some time. The response that you get from your teacher is obviously going to be much more positive. So look at page 12. It's quite an in-depth look on how to communicate your needs effectively to your teachers so that you can get your educational needs met. Now, optimism versus pessimism is very important because it's the way that you look at things as to how it determines whether you're going to be successful or not. If you are pessimistic, you'll tend to see things as being personal. So, it's always me, it always happens to me, I'm such a failure. You will see things as being pervasive, meaning it is just all about, so you don't understand one sum and you're going, I don't know maths, I've got not a cooking clue what's going on with maths. That means you let it into every single part of your life and you would see it as permanent. So it's never going to change. I'm never going to understand maths. All right. When you have that type of mindset, it is very difficult to correct because now you are living in this idea that it affects everything about you, that you're the failure and that it's permanent and nothing can be done about it. So we need to change your mindset into something that's more optimistic because optimism means that you'll see things as changeable. So, I don't understand this now, but maybe I'll get to know about it tomorrow. Maybe I'll understand the lesson tomorrow. So you get to change your thought patterns. You also get to know that things are isolated. So just because you don't know one section of maths, it doesn't mean that you don't know any maths. It just means that you don't know that one section. It is an isolated incident. Also, you get to understand that everything is temporary. But when you don't understand something in maths, it is temporary, it is not something permanent. And then you can go and affect change. You can go to your teacher and say, I don't understand this, please help me. Because now you're not living in this pessimistic world where you're going, nothing's going to change and everything is bad. So when you hit middle school and high school, you get to a stage where a lot of decisions need to be made. And this just helps you to understand how to make sound decisions based on rational thought and based on a system that is going to allow you to make a decision that is best for you.